Okay, there we go. We're on camera. Hello, all you beautiful... Can't even say my intro right. Hello, all you beautiful internet people. Now, this review is going to be a little different tonight. I'm reviewing the film Donnie Darko, 2001 film. And I'm going to be eating the Carolina Reaper. These are the world's hottest peppers. They don't have a label, but you can tell that they are the world's hottest peppers. I thought I only bought one, but they came in a bag of like 10, as if you'd want to pop these like Fritos. Whoever sent these has a pretty demented sense of humor, but I'm going to be making a lot of spicy broth over the next couple months, let me tell you. This is the pepper I'm going to be eating. It's kind of the biggest one in the pack. Get all that stress out. So these are the conditions of the challenge. I sit here, I stick this thing in my mouth, this tongue of Satan. Let me show it to you up close so you can be sure there isn't any deception at play. Some people thought that I was going to be doing this live, but I can't do anything live because I don't have a webcam. But there it is. It is the little product placement there. It is the absolute real deal. It is a Carolina Reaper. My eyes are watering. Maybe it's the capsaicin. I don't know. But yes, this is the real thing. This is no joke. This is an actual Carolina Reaper. It feels like rubber in my hands right now. So these are the conditions of the challenge. I sit here, I stuff it in my mouth, I bite it up, I swallow it, and then it doesn't really smell like anything. I bite it up, I swallow it. I don't get to drink any water, and I don't get to drink any milk, because those are for babies, but I gotta keep a straight face, and I gotta review the film, Donnie Darko. Those of you who enjoy hot ones, I'm probably never going to be on Hot Ones, but this is better than Hot Ones. This is the spiciest pepper on earth, so compared to this, whatever Weird Al Yankovic or Gordon Ramsay is going to eat on the next episode of Hot Ones can't be that bad. I also can't be on Hot Ones because I recently stopped eating chicken. But anyway, this is the Carolina Reaper here. No fake. Real thing. Okay, here we go. I can't cut the video because then you'd think I didn't do it, so I've got to show the whole thing in its entirety, document it in video form. Make sure the camera's running smoothly. Yep, it looks good. Pepper. Ready to go. So I just pinch the stem, hold it, and here we go. Start the timer, baby. Wow. Well, this is what I'd expect. Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko this pepper is only supposed to last 20 minutes. Pain isn't in my mouth. Pain's in my ears. Why? Gotta let it process. Not gonna vomit it. I can't review Donnie Darko right now. My face has just become a waterfall of spit and snot, and so maybe it'll be a double feature. Donnie Darko right after this. I ate it. I did it. It's out of my mouth now. It's in my stomach. I have stomach acid, baby. I can do this. Oh, frick. Okay, wait. I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling better. It's out of my mouth. It's in my stomach now. So I'll let my stomach deal with it. I'm not gonna vomit. I have a strong stomach. But hoo boy, that is a pepper. I don't know what you could consider a straight face. I didn't scream, so that counts for something. when it hits, you've just got a fountain of spit and snot running out of your nose and mouth. Tears coming out of your eyes. You're so focused on breathing, you can't review Donnie Darko. You gotta breathe in and out, in and out, in and out. Oh, that was an experience. Wow. I don't think you can control saliva gushing out of your mouth and snot coming out your nose any more than you can control feeling bad when you have a cold. Any more than you can control cough, a sneeze. It's a reflex. I haven't been building up to this. I haven't been eating jalapenos or anything a week in advance. I'm not a pepper expert, so this is just a layman's account of the Carolina Reaper. Wow. That was something. I'm not going to turn the camera off. My camera does have a limit as to how long it'll record. I think it's 29 minutes. Where are we at? 1750. I put it in about 2 or 3 minutes. It's 1750 now. Well, that was something. Would I recommend eating the Carolina Reaper for someone who hasn't eaten it before? Sure. You only live once. It's only 20 minutes. And it is mercifully short. I didn't vomit. That little sucker is still shriveling around my stomach somewhere. I think I can handle it. One pepper won't make me vomit, but wow. That was something. You spit, snot comes out. Whoa. So I can't do a review and eat that thing at the same time. But I did eat it. And I didn't scream. Or cry, really. I mean, the tears came, but that's just... I don't know. You probably can't do anything with this thing. I mean, you can't talk while you're eating this thing, because your mouth is a swimming pool full of saliva. Luckily, I don't know, I'm pretty restrained, so I was able to handle it, but I'm not going to be reviewing Donnie Darko until this feeling subsides, but I do want to review Donnie Darko, so wow. I mean, I'm not going to review Donnie Darko while that thing's going on. Not stupid. This was kind of just a stunt. I mean, originally, I was just going to eat the pepper. The Donnie Darko review is just kind of tacked on. It's like, hey, I'm going to review a movie while I'm eating this pepper that forces you to not talk. My voice, well, back felt like it was coming from somewhere else, if that makes any sense. I can feel this beast writhing around inside me. Wow. That was something. So, if you think this was fake, what just happened should prove to you that it's not fake. Who makes these? I mean, if you want one, it's okay. Why do they sell these in bags? It's like a Costco supply. Like, this will last a decade. You just take one little pinch of this. You'll make a flavorful soup. But any more than that should only be reserved for the realm of capturing yourself eating it. And I gotta say, I mean, the reaction isn't even that fun because it's pretty short. And the reaction might be fun to you, but I don't know, you can't even talk while you're eating it, so I don't know. But wow. These were bought thanks to a customer, so thank you for this. Was it not fun while it was happening? Yeah, it sucked while it was happening, but in retrospect, was it worth it? Yes. I now know what the hottest pepper on earth feels like. I can tell this to my grandkids. I can say, hey, I ate a pepper. No milk, no water, no nothing, just me and the pepper. And, it's world's hottest pepper, actually, so, yeah. I don't know. Wow. I don't think any of the seeds came out. I think I ate all the seeds. I think I ate the entire pepper. Whole thing. Just, wow. So yeah. That's a pepper. That's it. This has been done to affirm that Nicolas Comics are the spiciest comics. So, I don't know. I mean, I figure as far as peppers go, there's like different degrees. Like, the Carolina Reaper, oh man, just kind of happens and it's done. So, like, while it's happening, yeah, it's like, wow. But then after, it's just kind of like, So, I will be able to do Donnie Darko pretty soon here. I might just wait it out until 29 minutes to see what happens, and then do a half-hour Donnie Darko review, and put them together as a double feature. So, I guess when this is posted tomorrow, you'll know what happened. But seriously, thank you for the order that got me this Carolina Reaper. It was a lot of fun to eat, and the entertainment value that comes out of my reaction is probably more priceless than any other thing that I've ever really recorded on this channel. So yeah. Nicolas Comics are the spiciest comics. I eat the peppers. You know what Alec Robbins eat? It's a big old tub of plain yogurt. That's what he eats, a big sissy. So yeah. So yeah, this was an experience, you know, and I don't know. Red Link did this, you know, and they just like, how are their noses not just dripping? Their mouths just cascade. It's like a waterfall, you know. They ate ice cream. Bunch of sissies. And they clearly just yelled for entertainment value. I don't know. Is this for entertainment value? Am I just trying to record what it's like? I don't know. But at any rate, I belong to an exclusive club now, which is pretty cool. So I can say I've been there, done that. I don't know. Will I summit Everest? Will I get on the International Space Station? Who knows, right? I mean, sky's the limit after you've taken a chomp of one of these bad boys, but the heat has just subsided now, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, it's still kind of there. Like, yeah, I can detect it. There's got to be, like, some peppers that last longer but aren't as, like, punchy as that. But they might be spicier considerably, I don't know. But that was just like a gush of spice, and it just goes down, and I don't know. Just let my stomach process it. I can still feel it, but in my mouth, nah. Oh, cough, wow. My lungs are kind of, ooh. But, yeah, that was something. So, you saw it live on camera. It happened. I did it. I'm sorry I couldn't do that in the Donnie Darko review at the same time, but who am I kidding? But yeah, it happened. And I didn't need any water, or any milk, or anything. I mean, it's all in my stomach now. It's all just gurgling around in there. Wow. I just did it, and it just happened. And it's been some time, and I don't know. Okay, there we go. We're live. We're back on. We're not live, but we're back on. It is about a half hour later. I don't feel anything, so let's go with Donnie Darko. So, in my It Follows review, I mentioned how Donnie Darko is a predecessor to It Follows in a lot of ways. It's pretentious, it's a stupid movie, and all around, Donnie Darko is, well, I would say Donnie Darko is more worth watching than It Follows. But I wouldn't say Donnie Darko is a movie someone should watch, unless you really want to cringe. Jake Gyllenhaal is absolutely he's just an unlikable character. Because he's this giant edgelord and he's like, suck a fuck, hey bitch. And they talk about Smurfs having sex. Oh man, is this edgy? And if anything, I will say Donnie Darko is the patron saint of edginess in the 2000s and 2010s. What Kurt Cobain did for grunge, Donnie Darko does for, well, I guess not emo, but, you know, just very moody type. No mascara, no, you know, emo type stuff. But Donnie Darko isn't an emo, but he is the sort of, you know, just, yeah, he makes these stupid faces. And everyone's talking about Radio Rebel, the face. Whatever happened to Donnie Darko, the face? Make that a TikTok challenge. It's just all evil. Holy shit. This movie is not good. Now, I think the deal is that the filmmaker behind this, I didn't bother to look up his name, because I've watched the movie twice. I got it on VHS. The guy behind this movie did not bother to think. I think he thought he was Robert Zemeckis. I think, because this movie is, you know, about time travel and whatever, and it doesn't even really make sense. There's so much stuff that you won't get. But he thinks he's Robert Zemeckis, and that's why the movie, even though it was made in 2001, is set in 1988, because it wants to be like Gremlins and The Goonies and, you know, all these great Zemeckis or Spielberg movies that came out around that time. It wants to join them in the ranks, and the problem is, it's too pretentious, you know? Like, Gremlins is just fun. They're just little monster bastards going up and blowing shit up. It's fun. But the problem is that Donnie Darko is set in 1988. It doesn't really remind you every 5 seconds that it's 1988, which is nice. Like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood does that. It always reminds you that it's set in 1969. But it is definitely a period piece, and it's not good. Because, you know, it was released in 2001. The plot involves a jet turbine, so it barely got any advertising, because, oh, it was 9/11, and you know, I bet this movie would have at least made a slight amount of money if it had just advertised instead of, oh no, it has a jet turbine, so it's the same thing, you know. Anything with airplanes in it was just forbidden for after September 11th. Donnie Darko is about, like, it's just 2 hours of excruciating pain. I don't know. Is it as bad as eating a Carolina Reaper? Maybe. Just to sit through it. Because it talks about Back to the Future. Back to the Future is actually brought up at one point. And it's like, do you know what Donnie Darko is missing? Fun. But the guy behind the movie thinks it's going to be like the most iconic movie. and everyone's going to be talking about it. And to an extent, lots of people have talked about it, but not like to the extent they talk about Back to the Future. And this movie also has something that I consider a guaranteed mark of a pretentious filmmaker, is when there's a scene set in a movie theater. It happens in It Follows. It happens Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All the time, just movie theater. Because you've got to break the immersion. You've got to let the viewer know, look, you're watching a movie, and the characters in the movie are watching a movie. And the movie they're watching is The Evil Dead, yeah, great. Donnie Darko gets to watch The Evil Dead. I'm stuck watching Donnie Darko. But yeah, he's really just this unlikable little edgelord. And when he dies at the end, I don't really care, He was not, he's not Marty McFly. If Marty McFly died, I'd be sad. But he's Donnie Darko. Let me see how much time is left here. Okay, 22 minutes. Good deal. Donnie Darko. I just rewatched it before I ate the pepper. So, thoughts on it? Well, the same decade we get Primer, which is a movie everyone's like, oh, I don't understand it. And they call Primer pretentious, but I think the thing is, with Primer, the time travel actually makes sense. You just have to watch it enough. But with Donnie Darko, none of this shit makes sense. You can watch it 100 times, and it won't make sense, because it doesn't deal with time loops or anything. It's just, oh, fucking rabbit. What even is that rabbit? There are a lot of shots in here that I think the director thought would be really iconic down the road. Like at the end there's a bike scene, like in E.T., or a Grandma Death, the old lady, the recluse, and the director's like, oh shit, soon Grandma Death is going to be talked about as much as Indiana Jones. And no, because, she's just an old lady and nothing happens with her and she just walks around. And there's a 4-minute shot of just the students of Donnie Darko goes with just being I'm walking around and talking and just dancing and just walking and just, and it gets so boring. This movie, well, it's not as boring as something like Birdman, but it's not entertaining. These giant CGI worms comes out of people's chests and they drag them around. It just looks stupid. I mean, it's not as bad as some early CGI, but it's not good. It just doesn't look that good. The whole thing, what's up with the stupid rabbit? It's supposed to be scary, but it's not scary because it's a bunny rabbit, but it's not funny because it's supposed to be scary, but it's not scary because it's a bunny rabbit, and his name is Frank. What if this shares a universe with Filthy Frank? Who knows? When Frank takes off his mask, it kind of looks like Filthy Frank. Come to think of it, what if Frank the Rabbit, Filthy Frank, and Frank the guy who wears the mask in that movie called Frank about the rock band led by the mysterious leader called Frank, who always wears a giant mask, what if all three of them are the same person? Donnie Darko's shared universe confirmed? I really don't know. Here's the other thing. Can't believe I'm talking about this. Donnie Darko has a love interest, and, she's stale and cardboard. I think Donnie Darko wasn't meant to be a cult film. That's what it is, that's what it is. Cult films. And it's not good because, there are some really cool cult films out there that actually put an effort and have fun ideas behind them. Like Buckaroo Banzai. Like, over here you got Donnie Darko, just so full of itself, and it thinks it's going to be the next big thing in science fiction. Like, oh shit, it's an Einstein-Rosen bridge. Over here. Then you got Buckaroo Banzai. And you look at something like Buckaroo Banzai, it's got frickin' Jeff Goldblum, and like all these cool-ass effects, all this cool-ass shit going on with Buckaroo Banzai, and you just think, how is this not seen by more people? How is this not as big as like Star Wars or Indiana Jones? Like, how is it not a mainstream movie when so much effort was put into it? And then you think that probably more people have seen Donnie Darko than Buckaroo Banzai, and that's really sad. Because Donnie Darko isn't as good. Donnie Darko isn't as bad as something like It Follows, because Donnie Darko was the beginning of a trend. I might even say Donnie Darko is groundbreaking in that it's the first pretentious movie that tries too hard and ends up saying nothing. And that's something that comes through in spades with It Follows, Has Been Hotel, Rick and Morty, Regular Show, Adventure Time, yada yada yada. Donnie Darko really kicked the millennium off with a giant splatter of shit. And, 2001, so. What's really sad about Donnie Darko is how it feels like, it doesn't feel like It Follows. It doesn't feel artificial. It feels like a movie where some effort was put in. The problem is that there were no ideas. The script is bad. The dialogue sucks. And every time the movie tries to be, like, innovative or, like, say something, it's just stupid. It's like, Donnie Darko heard about a water main busting. Donnie Darko busts a water main, or what was the other one? Oh dang it! It's is it? I don't know. They talk about Smurfs having sex. Just the most obnoxious shit. Like, and they actually think that this is gonna be like the biggest science fiction breakthrough. Like, I don't even know. You eat a Carolina Reaper, you kind of get amnesia about all the points you were going to make. Donnie Darko is a lot like... So it starts with Donnie Darko is called outside by the rabbit guy, and he goes out, and the rabbit guy's like, 29 days, it's gonna be spooky, and then, goes on. And then he gets splunched at the end by the big jet turbine, which has like this Tim Burton spiral inside of it. Like, I don't know if jet turbines have Tim Burton spirals in the middle. I don't think they do. Like, just painted in the middle. I don't know if that would ever be necessary. Let me check the time here. 15 minutes to go, halfway through. Donnie Darko. What else about it? Well, it's set during Halloween, so you'd think it would be a surefire hit, but it's not. It manages to make Halloween boring. It's a sort of movie I can imagine an edgy teen being like, oh shit. Where Donnie Darko's like, why are you wearing that stupid rabbit suit? And then Frank says, why are you wearing that stupid human costume? And, there's points where it's supposed to be funny. Like, a lady mixes up Lauren Green with Graham Greene, and it's supposed to be just a laugh riot. I really can't imagine this. Like, I'm glad it didn't come out when I was alive, because be an embarrassment. At least Star Trek Nemesis came out when I was alive, which is kind of nice. But yeah, it is just, it's not a good movie. There are so many cult films that are like amazing, like Earth Girls Are Easy or The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T. Like, no one watches The 5,000 Fingers of Dr. T because it's not pretentious, but they should, because it's way better than Donnie Darko. Getting ahead of myself. There's a lot of shots in this movie that I feel like they're trying to be like, they're trying to say, you know, this would go good on a postcard, or this would go good on a, you know, this is an iconic shot, like Citizen Kane level shit. And, you know, the photography is okay, but the problem is I don't care about Donnie, and I don't care about his group of stupid friends who go around and say edgy shit like, what if the Smurfs had sex? Or, hey, I have a penis, ha. I don't know. If it wasn't for Donnie Darko, we probably wouldn't have crap like 13 Reasons Why. If it wasn't for Donnie Darko, we definitely wouldn't have It Follows, or at the very least, It Follows would be in a slightly different format. And if we didn't have Donnie Darko, I don't know. Cinema would be pretty different. Donnie Darko is the first in a movement, if that makes any sense. But it's not good. It can only reference other movies that are better, like Back to the Future and Evil Dead and all this, and it's trying so hard to be an 80s movie. Same thing with It Follows, trying to be set in this weird hybrid of the present and the past. But Donnie Darko is actually set in 1988, or yeah, I think so. And they talk about Dukakis, they talk about Dan Quayle and Dukakis, and oh, the father's a Republican, and he's like, you better not vote for Dukakis, young lady. And then the daughter's like, I'm gonna vote for Dukakis. And like this, the writer's idea of this brilliant conversation. And who the heck is the stupid rabbit? Like, just stop. It's stupid. The whole thing is just stupid. Primer, yeah, I suggest Primer. It's written by real scientists. It was made on a tiny budget, and yet people know about it. People have watched it, which is admirable. It's probably one of the smallest budget films of all time, and it's just really cool. Because, you know, you watch it and you think, wow, you know, all these loops and all these crazy happenings, and then you watch Donnie Darko. And all that happens really is over the month of October, it's not supposed to happen or something, because Donnie Darko doesn't get crushed, and then it goes back and he does get crushed. Or some shit. Like, who cares? A movie like Back to the Future doesn't make you guess at stuff. And to an extent, a movie like Primer doesn't make you guess at stuff either. Primer does explain everything if you watch it enough. Donnie Darko doesn't. All Donnie Darko does is have Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's like, and it's freaking stupid. The fact that people still talk about this movie, I don't know. It's not a good movie. It's weak, and it's stupid. I mean, if you're 15, you might enjoy it. You might think, oh man, this is some edgy, next level shit. And I can say with some certainty that Donnie Darko was probably the Rick and Morty of its day. It was a show that the youth could point at and say, oh man, I've watched Donnie Darko. I'm smart. But it's just not a good movie. Like, everything that could make a good movie is there, I guess. Like, but the performances are off, and the cinematography is a little off. Not much off, but a little. And the plot is presented in such a cryptic way. And there's so many scenes of people just talking about, like, what if I wasn't chosen for this? What if that happened? That'd be pretty crazy, huh? I'm such an outcast, and my feelings are hurt. Is it like... And people actually paid real money to watch this back in 2001. What a year. I wasn't alive for it, but Donnie Darko. Wow. It's a movie. I don't know. Like, it's period accurate, if that's what you're worried about, but it's not the fun side of the 80s. It's not the cool side of the 80s. There's no rollerblading or anything. It could just as well be set in 2001 for how much the 80s are relevant to it. It doesn't need to be set in 1988. It could just be set in 2001. It could be set in 1988, but there's no reason to do that because it feels like the movie is just trying to be the next Robert Zemeckis or some shit, and it's not. If I go to a movie, I want a rollicking fun time. I don't want some edgy Jake Gyllenhaal to be like, I'm such an outcast and my feelings is hurt. And at the beginning of the movie, he's like lying on the street next to his bike. Like, what happened there? That's not anything to do with the time travel, because that's October 1st. Like, what happened? Guess it'll never say, because Donnie Darko is just too smart for me. It's a joke. Frickin' Donnie Darko. And yeah, his name is stupid, but the movie is a lot stupider than his name, so believe me on that. And then at the end, you know, you got the song, at the end it pans over all the characters and it's like, all around a million places, and the other one feel kind of sad, and the world best thing and the best I've ever had. Yeah. The thing about Donnie Darko is if you watch it, I don't know. You can watch it, but it won't be much fun. It'll be about as much fun as eating a Carolina Reaper. Got a tummy ache. But, anyway, yeah, Donnie Darko. I give it like 3 out of 10. There's some vision behind it. It's not soulless, but it's not a good movie. It's not even close. It tried and it failed because no one wants to watch it. Like, but people do. I guess edgy teenagers. Donnie Darko is the first of his kind. It's the original E-boy. It's Donnie Darko, people. He's gonna save the... Who knows? It's like, he's so disturbed. He's got so many problems. Frickin' Donnie Darko. I know I had more to say about it, but I can't remember because the pepper just kind of fries your memory. But anyway, yeah, there's an actual sequel to it. I'm not gonna watch it, but 3 out of 10, not that great, and I can't stand Donnie Darko. That's a problem when the main character is unlikable. This is, oh, I'm so edgy and special, and I'm gonna do some edgy shit. But anyway, yeah, Donnie Darko. So, that's about it. We still got 3 minutes. How is it? I don't know. It's just not a good movie. Like, there's so many better movies you could watch instead of Donnie Darko. You have a finite amount of time on this earth. And personally, would I rather eat a Carolina Reaper or watch Donnie Darko? There's a question. I guess watch Donnie Darko. The Carolina Reaper is pretty hard. I could probably watch Donnie Darko on repeat, but it would be incredibly boring because that's how Donnie Darko is. It's just a weak movie. I don't know. Anyway, that's the Nicolas Cicada review. An intense one this time. Still got a tummy ache, but oh, what a pepper. Thanks to whoever sent in for the pepper, you sent in for the comics, and I was able to buy the peppers with that. But wow, that is a pepper. That is the world's spiciest pepper. Is it spicier than Donnie Darko? Yes. Is it spicier than Nicolas Comics? Who knows? I don't know. I think it and Nicolas Comics could be pretty close. Could be a pretty close tie for spiciness between Nicolas Comics and the Carolina Reaper. But as for Donnie Darko, much like what Alec Robbins stuffs into his face every day, because he hasn't been able to answer my challenge, I figure because my parody was too good for him. Donnie Darko is a vat of plain yogurt, and Alec Robbins eats a vat of plain yogurt every day. So, well, that's just how it is. And one, all around the 1,000,000 places, feels kind of sad, feels kind of happy, feels kind of man, one, man, one. And then Jake Gyllenhaal is like, I'm Donnie Darko, bitches. I'm such an outcast and such an edgelord. I think you are the Antichrist, sir. The shit you people put me through. Watching Donnie Darko, eating Carolina Reapers by Nicolas Comics. By Nicolas Comics.